This craggy landscape belongs to one of the 100 islands that make up Shetland. This is an ancient land, and some of these rocks were formed almost a billion years ago. The Shetland Islands are Britain's final outpost in the north. In fact, they are closer to the Arctic Circle than they are to Manchester or even London. The sea crashes wildly onto these rocks, but the waters here are extremely rich in food. As summer approaches, northern gannet colonies such as this one at Norse Nature Reserve can be a breathtaking sight. These steep and precarious cliffs are home to one of the largest gannet colonies in the UK. The birds gather here in the summer to feed on herring and mackerel and to breed. At the peak of the breeding season, thousands of pairs occupy every available space on these so-called seabird skyscrapers. These pairs enforce their bonds by preening and caring for each other after nearly 6 months out in the cold, open North Atlantic. Several other seabirds inhabit this rocky terrain, such as black guillemots, charming birds that are resident in Shetland throughout the year, and unique-looking razorbills. They get their name from their razor-sharp beaks. At first sight, these might look like penguins on a rock, but a closer look reveals that these are actually common guillemots. You will notice a few precious guillemot chicks amongst adults. Common guillemots nest in loud, densely packed colonies known as bloomeries, where up to 20 incubating pairs can fit into a single square meter. Puffins are the darlings of the seabird world. They also come to these tricky rocky edges to feed and breed. Rubbing their beaks, pairs will enforce their bonds and prepare for a tough breeding season ahead. As the effects of human activity, climate change and overfishing become increasingly felt across the world, the sea around the puffins is warming fast and changing, and this has caused a decline in their main food, sand eels. Puffins may look pretty and cute, but these are tough little fighters. Their beaks and claws are well adapted to digging and burrowing for nests, and their bodies are perfectly evolved to swim fast underwater, fly fast, and survive in the cold northern seas. Fulmars, on the other hand, are thriving. They may look like seagulls, however, the tubular appendage above their beaks signifies that they are actually closely related to albatrosses. Almost completely absent in the UK as breeding birds only about 100 years ago, fulmars have been on a steady increase, and they now occupy almost any available rocky ledge to build a nest. Fulmars are definitely true believers of the trespassers will be persecuted policy. Pairs defend their nests in a brutal fashion, ensuring that no intruder gets within sniffing distance of their lucrative property. They will only relax when they are completely assured that the intruder will not bother them anymore. These are harbour seals, also known as common seals, although nowadays they're not really common at all. This is because they prefer undisturbed, clean habitats such as this beach, which are becoming increasingly hard to find. Miniature inland lakes such as this one welcome small groups of great skuas. They may look peaceful and loving now, but in reality, they are the true pirates of the sea. They will steal food from other seabirds and are also known predators of other smaller birds such as puffins. However, they are one of the rarest birds in the world. Shetland allows us to see great skuas in a different light, feared, respected, but also much loved Vikings of the far north. As the summer passes on, a red-throated diver showcases its bright red neck in the blazing sun. A Shetland wren urges its chicks to come out and feast on a healthy-looking moth. And a young starling leaps out of its nest for the first time. Elsewhere on the islands, a family of playful stoats enjoy the first rays of the morning sun. Another secretive creature also resides along this lonely coast. This is a Eurasian otter, which in Shetland are known as Dratsy. This otter is a veteran female who is perfectly camouflaged amongst the seaweed and the rocks. She disappears underwater to see what she can find today. Catch of the day appears to be a crab. For awkward prey like this, otters must come ashore so that it is easier to tackle the meal. After having her fill, she lands at another nearby rock. She must clean her fur regularly. This ensures that she is fully protected against the cold. Unlike other marine mammals, otters do not have a substantial layer of body fat, otherwise known as blubber. Therefore, keeping her fur dry, healthy, and in top condition is her key defense against the chilly waters. Fully fed and cleaned, she has one last quick look to assure herself that no one will disturb her. Then it's time for a well-earned snooze. Shetland is not just all about the sea and the coast. Rich peat bogs, moors, and heathland are home to a host of species that breed here in the summer. This includes golden plovers singing their mournful songs, dunlins, and shy and fleeting windmills. Often seen on small inland water bodies is a rare diminutive beta. This is a female redneck phalarope. This is no ordinary small bird, as unlike most birds, this female is more brightly colored than the male. The oyster catchers and the terns in the back give a sense of how small the phalarope really is. After mating and breeding has taken place, these tiny birds will migrate over extraordinary distances. Traveling over 16,000 miles on tiny delicate wings, they fly to South American countries such as Ecuador and Peru to spend the winter there. The male phalarope will also be the one responsible for the hatching of the eggs and taking care of the chicks. A complete and bizarre role reversal made even more fascinating, as there are only about 80 breeding pairs of these birds in the UK. The male phalarope will also have to battle brutal winds while taking care of his chicks, for Shetland is a wild and windy place. The toughness of the birds and animals that live here should not be underestimated, like this dunlin, staying strong in the breeze. A juvenile wheatear demands respect for its boldness. And a snipe offers a rare view, managing to stand motionless amongst a wave of flag irises. Shetland is also home to several meadows, wildflowers, and orchids. Some of them, like the marsh orchids and ragged robin, are now difficult to see across much of the UK, but fortunately they're still doing well in Shetland. These flowers support insects such as bees. A sudden flash of orange is sometimes visible through the nectar-rich flowers of birdsfoot trefoil. These are the Shetland bumblebee. These are a local subspecies that owe their existence to the wild and free existence of these hardy plants. In the summer, the sun never truly sets, just hanging below the horizon, known locally as the simmer dim. Natural phenomena such as this, spectacular scenery, and wonderful wildlife is what makes Shetland such a special and unique part of the UK.